bro, you came here illegally, so you're getting sent back. Like, I'm not really understanding where I'm supposed to feel bad. Like, it's the law. Like, that, what? Am I missing something? Like, we also can't do that. We can't go to other countries illegally and just pop up and start working and all of that without things in order, without abiding by their laws. And to be honest, it's a much worse punishment if we end up doing that. I feel like America is being generous. Y'all are getting caught and then being sent by a plane or sent by a bus back home. That's pretty generous if you ask me. Like, if I go to Russia and try to pull that off, I might not come home. They might lock me up for 50 years for trespassing. Like, I'm confused. The media is trying to make us feel bad, and they're like, oh, this person was 15 years old. He was a hard-working boy. He was in high school, blah, 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 and he was an illegal immigrant from Guatemala. Bro, you lost me. You lost me. He's illegal. So I'm sorry. Like, that's just what happens. I can't feel bad no more. Everything you said before that is disregarded. I'm sorry.
And another thing, stop coming at Black Americans like we're immigrants. Stop coming at Black Americans as if we are in the same boat, the same immigration system as everybody else. We're not in any kind of immigration system in the United States of America. This country is just as much ours as it is whoever you think is in power or whoever's making all these legislative decisions. The country is just as much ours as it is theirs. We are not in any kind of situation where we need to be getting thrown into the same boat and threatened with all of this. You guys are next. Just wait and see. I don't know why you guys are acting like you're immune from something, sweetie. We are not immigrants. I don't know why this, I just don't know where this idea comes from. Just because our skin is brown, just because it's brown, don't mean automatic deportation. Don't mean that you don't belong in the United States. I know that is just so hard to believe. It is so heartbreaking, but we are not in the same boat. So we should not even be being addressed at all when it comes to anything immigration related, anything deportation related, anything that has to do with having to find or relocate or anything. Black Americans should not even be a thought in that conversation.
Deportations, y'all. Deportations. Now, the deportation's been going on for almost a year now, okay? And I remember in the beginning when Trump started deporting everybody, there was a lot of Black Democratic supporters getting online or getting on the news or just maybe even in your family talking about, hey, Donald Trump gonna deport us Black folk. Donald Trump, you remember Project 2025? Do you remember Project 2025, Brian? It said it on the Project 2025 that Black Americans gonna be deported. Now I had to listen to this dumb shit almost a year now. And a Black American still has not been deported yet. Let me say this correctly. The descendants of emancipated people have not been deported yet. All that fear-mongering you Black Democratic supporters been doing failed. We still haven't been deported yet. Not the emancipated people. Not us. Then the immigrants. See, immigrants, Black immigrants especially, and the Mexican ones too. See, the Mexican ones, we shut them down early this year. They quiet. I ain't seen a Mexican on TikTok in a long time since I got on them or since we got on them. They've been gone since April. I don't know where they been. Have y'all seen something? I have. But a lot of these immigrants is jealous because we can't be deported either. See, and I'm quoting from Phil Scott. Phil Scott made a great point. He said, when these immigrants, especially these African immigrants came here, they thought this was the white man's land. This the white man's country. But when they saw we couldn't get deported, now they see this is Black country too. This is our country too. Keep in mind, immigrants, we can't go nowhere. We chilling. We cool. Y'all not. Listen, I saw those videos on how they feeding y'all. And they feeding y'all pretty good. That can be y'all last great meal when you go back to your homeland. And to my Black Democratic supporters, are you deported? Have you been deported? I haven't been deported. Have anybody in your family been deported? Democrat supporters, y'all got to do better. And immigrants, we ain't nothing like y'all.
Y'all know when Latinos and Hispanics be like Black Americans are next? They really thought that black Americans are immigrants. And that explains why they voted the way they voted. They try to get us up out of here. But I got to say to the Latino community, not only did your ESL classes, but the American educational system failed you tremendously. Because black Americans are not immigrants and we're not going anywhere. And this is how ill-informed they are. They really think because they're in the middle between black and white that they're white adjacent, when that's far from the truth. It's only 3 categories that's broken down in this country. You have white Americans, you have non-whites, and you have black Americans. The people in the middle, y'all just extras in this movie. The main characters are the white Americans and the black Americans, and sometimes the Native Americans make a guest appearance. This country spent too much money, trillions of dollars, in painting black people as the bad guys. That's the default, to even get rid of black Americans, as sad as that may sound. And you know who's catching on quick, who's learning the game real quick? Africans and Caribbeans. That's why they're cosplaying as black Americans. They're not cosplaying as black Americans to trick us black Americans. They're doing it to trick white Americans because they don't want to be deported.
Black Americans, illegal immigration is not your problem. This is not your fight. Do not be out here worried about illegal immigrants, okay? Because I promise you that they are not out here worried about you. What they are doing is going into your communities, going into your schools, overpowering all your resources, all of the things that are going on in black communities with illegal immigrants coming in and taking over the schools, taking over all of the resources that are supposed to be for black Americans. Trust and believe that these people are not worried about you. So I do not understand why black Americans feel like they need to jump on this high horse to go out here and go to battle for illegal immigrants when that is not your fight. If you are a black American, that means you are here legally. It is not your responsibility to advocate for those who are here illegally. There is no black-brown coalition, okay? These people are not here for you. And what you need to stop doing is you need to stop wasting your time trying to fight everybody else's battles and start focusing on your families, your communities, your entrepreneurship, your money, your income generation, because black Americans are basically dead last at all of these things. And we are dead last at all of those things because we are always trying to fight other people's battles. So black Americans, illegal immigrants, battles are not your battles. You should probably want as many illegal immigrants deported as humanly possible, because that means that maybe lower income black communities can be theirs again and not have themselves overrun by illegals.
Man, listen, I already knew it was going to happen. This is the craziness that I'm talking about. They want to start a war. Let me tell y'all, black people, y'all better keep y'all behinds in the house. Especially in LA, they are already saying that the black community is the ones that's causing the riots and causing the craziness and causing the fights and everything. That is not true. Y'all know that's not true. This is the reason why we are advocating and telling y'all to do not go out there and protest and march. No, let them handle it on their own. Let them fight for them. We tried to do this. When we was marching, they did not march with us. When we were protesting, they did not protest with us. No, let them figure it out. But they already lying and saying that we are the ones that's causing it, when that is not true. That is false information. Black people, I'm telling y'all, y'all better not go out there and do anything. Keep our hands clean, because the moment that we try to even help in any type of way, it's going to fall back on us. So let this be a warning. Do not do anything. Don't go out there. Stay in the house. Go shopping. Do your thing. Have fun. Live your life. But it's they fight now. We not in it.
All right, for all my blacks on this app that's coming on here saying this is not our fight, this is not our fight, y'all definitely must not be from LA, because out here it's a different type of program that we run, which is we actually have love for our Raza out here. We actually support them, we protect them, etc. And they do the same for us. If y'all was actually out there in the streets during the BLM protests, y'all would see Latinos out there supporting us as well. So I'm not getting this whole, this not our fight, this not our fight. when they was out there for us. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you was really out there in the streets during the protest, then you would actually know. Most of these motherfuckers is sitting behind the camera just talking shit that they don't even know. So I'm just letting y'all know, just to bypass them type people that got hate, envy, and racist, racism in their heart or whatever, you know what I'm saying, towards the Latin community, because some of them actually do. You know what I mean? But we can't help them. So and all in all, out here, we respect the Raza, and we support our Raza, so that's what we gonna do. Me and my people are going out to the protest downtown City Hall. We you know what I'm saying, we actually getting out in these streets, and we supporting the Raza. So I'm letting y'all know that the blacks out here, we got y'all back. So let's you know what I'm saying, let's continue this fight. Let's continue to have a peaceful protest. I don't want no harm inflicted on nobody, you know what I'm saying, because that's not going to do nothing but cause more pain in the community. So I ask that we all just, you know what I'm saying, keep the peace with the protests, and let's stand our ground, though. I love y'all.
The black community should not return to Target. Jesus Christ. When a corporation benefits from black culture, black dollars, and black loyalty, but retreats the moment equity becomes politically inconvenient, it sends a message about whose support truly matters to them. Maya Angelou once gave the world this timeless warning: when someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. For millions in the black community, the retail giant Target has done exactly that. And now, after months of boycotts, declining foot traffic, and attempts to repair its image by throwing crumbs at the black community, the question arises of whether or not now we should return because of said crumbs being thrown at our community. When corporations make choices about justice, equity, and inclusion, they reveal exactly where their loyalties lie. So why should I use my hard-earned money to make them richer and more powerful? I will not. This all started back in January of 2025. Target announced it would end several major diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives and goals it had previously set. Target said it was responding to an evolving external landscape and political pressures following policy changes in Washington related to federal diversity programs, thanks to Trump the Chump, also known as the MAGA Initiative, to protect white privilege in place of equality, diversity, and inclusion. Changes included ending certain DEI goals that had been tracked for 3-year cycles, scaling back workforce and supplier diversity initiatives, halting or restructuring programs designed to support Black employees and Black-owned brands. These initiatives were not symbolic gestures. They were created to address inequities in hiring, promotion, supplier contracts, and representation inside this major corporation. When they were eliminated, the message to Black consumers was unmistakable. Our response was swift. Community organizers like myself, preachers, and other community leaders organized boycotts, encouraging Black folks to redirect their spending away from Target and towards Black-owned businesses first, and other businesses that still stood behind diversity initiatives. The economic consequence was just as swift as our Black action. Target stock dropped significantly, and the company lost more than $20 billion in market value. Sales and foot traffic declined and are still declining since Black consumers pulled their dollars. In the U.S. alone, Black consumers represent roughly $2 trillion in purchasing power, meaning where the community chooses to spend or not spend can move markets. DEI was created because white people couldn't be trusted to hire and promote fairly. So the government had to write it into law. Critics of diversity initiatives often try to distort what DEI stands for, but the concept itself is that straightforward. DEI is not about favoritism, and they all know it. It is about correcting structural barriers that have existed for generations to keep my people at an economic disadvantage. Without intentional efforts to address inequality, systems simply reproduce the inequities already embedded within this racist system. The cycle continues only if we let it. By walking away from Target and other corporations like it, replacing them with Black-owned businesses, we break the cycle for good. We could do away with the need for DEI if Black people were the #1 employer of Black people. Are we ready for that conversation? Are we ready for that solution? The truth is, we are consistently betrayed. For decades, Black consumers have supported major retailers with loyalty and spending power. Target itself once positioned itself as the brand that was progressive and inclusive, pledging billions of dollars toward partnerships with Black entrepreneurs and businesses. That is precisely why the Trump the Chump rollback felt like such a betrayal, because it was. For many in the community, that message cannot simply be erased with marketing campaigns or public relations statements, or getting Jamal Bryant to tell the Black community, it's over, we won. I'm here to tell you it's not over, and we haven't won anything yet. History has already shown us that economic boycotts work. From the Montgomery bus boycott to the modern consumer campaigns, Black communities have long understood that where we spend our money is where our power lives. Every dollar is a vote. Every purchase is a statement, and every boycott is a reminder that corporations do not exist in a moral vacuum. They respond to pressure, accountability, and public opinion, even if that pressure, accountability, and public opinion is coming from Black folks. They didn't think that mattered, and now they know it does. This is a call to Black action. Stand firm against all these cowardly, racist corporations that force their way into our neighborhoods through gentrification, destroying smaller Black-owned businesses. This is a call to the Black community that is not rooted in bitterness. It is rooted in clarity. Support Black-owned businesses that support their community. Invest in companies that invest in equity. And remember the words of Maya Angelou. When they show you who they are, believe them. Target showed us. I love you, Black man. I love you, Black woman. Knowledge is power. Power to the people.
But what are we doing? I've seen videos of Black creators critiquing and making fun of other Black creators because they care about what's happening in the world right now. They say, go outside. You go outside. We staying in the house. We sitting home. Y'all would call Fred Hampton a raccoon. Do you understand what the Rainbow Coalition is? Do you understand that collective liberation is a real thing? I just don't get it. Is it the CIA? Like what is it that is making my fellow Black brothers and sisters get on this app and berate and critique other Black people who are actually concerned with the state of the world and actually understand that what happens in these United States of America in 2026 is going to impact us. It's not going to, it is impacting us. And those of you who are in the house, they are going to knock on your door. The ice cream man is going to knock on your door if we don't stop this. And do you think that they're going to just be cool with you because you're a Black American FBA? No, what are we talking about?
Hey, yo, what I'm noticing is America is on its deathbed right now, and they're trying to bait Black people into going in the street and go protest for them. They want the attention to be on us.
For decades, Black Americans have been expected to become the moral backbone of almost every major social movement. Something happens called Black activists. A protest begins, ask where Black leaders are. A community feels threatened. Suddenly everyone remembers the civil rights movement. But some Black Americans are now asking, why is our political energy treated like public property? Why is Black support automatically expected? Why does everybody seem to know history of Black struggle when they need a coalition? That frustration did not appear overnight. It has been building. And now we get to the word making people uncomfortable. Reciprocity. Some Black Americans are asking a very simple question. What exactly have we received in return? When Black communities raised concerns about jobs, housing, schools, discrimination, public safety, or political representation, who consistently stood beside them? Yes, there have absolutely been immigrant allies. That is real. And nobody should erase that. But the biggest argument is about expectations. Because support is one thing, entitlement to support is something completely different. And some black Americans are saying, you are not automatically entitled to a political labor. That is the statement creating outrage. Now here is where the debate gets even more heated. Some immigrants and advocates are genuinely shocked by the response. They see families under pressure, they see uncertainty, they see people afraid of what happens next. And from their perspective, they believe everyone should stand together. But some black Americans are responding with another question. Why does unity always become urgent when somebody else is in trouble? But when black Americans focus specifically on black priorities, suddenly that is called divisive. That contradiction is becoming harder to ignore. And here is the part that will really upset people. Some black Americans believe their community has spent too much time fighting battles for everybody, while their own problems remain unresolved. Generational wealth gap still exists, housing concerns still exist, education inequality still exists, employment concerns still exist, and political frustration is still very real. So the argument is, why should black Americans keep putting themselves at the front of every movement when their own agenda is constantly pushed to the back? That is not necessarily hatred. That is political prioritization. This may be the real story. A growing number of black Americans appear less willing to accept automatic coalition politics. They are asking harder questions. Who supported us? Who respected our concerns? Who dismissed us? Who only showed up when they needed votes? Who only started talking about solidarity when they needed numbers in the streets? And that shift is making people nervous. Because American politics has long operated with an assumption, when the pressure becomes intense enough, black Americans will eventually show up. But what happens if that assumption is no longer reliable? What happens if the answer is simply, handle your fight, we are handling ours? That changes everything. So maybe the real controversy is not that some black Americans are saying, not our fight. Maybe the real controversy is that people never expected black Americans to say so. They expected the marches, they expected the outrage, they expected the votes, they expected the historical comparisons, they expected black political energy to be available on demand. And now some black Americans are asking, where were you when we needed that same energy? That is the question nobody wants to answer. Because solidarity cannot be a one-way street. You cannot ignore people today and demand their loyalty tomorrow. So I want the comment section to answer this directly. Do black Americans have a responsibility to join migrant protests? Or are they completely justified in saying, not our fight? And one more question. Can you demand solidarity from another community if you never built solidarity with them in the first place? Drop your answer in the comment section below. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.